It's Week 10 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see Stephon Diggs. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Bills and the Jaguars on Monday Night Prime Time.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Escapes the defender, and here now a spin. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. And escapes the sack. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Gets by him at the 25. And he's going to have a Bills first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. Josh Allen, he says that he wants to continue to perfect executing the run-pass option. Looked pretty good there.
And he's put in the minds of all people trying to defend him that his legs create big plays. So guess who benefits?
His running back.
No doubt about it. We just saw it there.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. To the air, Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
On first down, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice game. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bills put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. Allen will try to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. Well, they had that great, long, methodical drive to put it in the end zone. Then they tried to bite off a little more and get 8 points. Instead, they're sitting at 6.
But didn't that feel like a decision that they made on Tuesday?
Yeah. Well, you usually say that's what they do, right?
Right. That's the best one. The best ones do that. They take the emotion out of it. That felt like that was scripted. Hey, if we score in the opening drive, we're going to go for 2 and try and really gain an advantage.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Lawrence throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to try back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Look at this Buffalo defense. They were quite formidable in the run over the Eagles a week ago.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get?
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be called for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor there. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Here's Lawrence. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Lawrence. Again to Calvin Ridley, and he's got it once more. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. Lawrence will throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Oh!
Still going. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 41. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground, Etienne, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. 17 carries, 92 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they're going to have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar first. $16-0. That's the score after one on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, run!
Here's Lawrence to throw. This one caught by Ridley.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it, able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Bills to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Well, he'll get this awfully close to a 1st down. Boy, that's going to be a razor-thin measurement, but I don't think he got there. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Sean McDermott didn't hesitate. They'll go for it on 4th. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Flush to his right. That is caught. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. And that was just a good job there of being mobile and creating something.
Being able to extend the play and get people open or buy yourself more time to run with the football, that's a really nice job there.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Allen going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in, Kamara. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. His career already storied, just keeps getting better. That last carry, CD, he hit 14,000 career rushing yards.
Think about the accumulation of this yardage like you're going upstairs. Now he's at the doorstep of the top 5 all-time in NFL history in rushing yards.
Unbelievable. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The kick by Elliott is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
I'm all over you.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time.
Everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4th down.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott now to add the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
11.
Now Lawrence to throw. And he short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And it's taken in at the 9. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense, you can't score on them on defense. So, to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
To throw, it's Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down. Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Kamara up the middle. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Lawrence's throw there taken in by Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Tyus Bowser, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. Desmond Ridder, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Ken Walker. 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Ezekiel Elliott, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. The Bills were led in the first half by their all-world quarterback, Josh Allen. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today's partner because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Able to get away. Being chased out left. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Dancing to his left. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And they can't bring him down. How did he stay on his feet?
Still going.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown.
Alvin Kamara
within sight now of the all-time record for touchdowns in a career.
And the Bills are pouring it on. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they've looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's the Bills kickoff unit out as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Jaguars getting set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
Now Lawrence on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge, because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Now 2nd and 9. Here's Allen. Flushed out right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try to get those yards a safer way.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 106 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Oh, it still won't go down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
But if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs.
2nd and 10. On play action, Allen going deep for Diggs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Staying on his feet. Oh, it stays, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack.
The Bills send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And Kirk is going to have the Jaguars first down as he'll get this out past the 35-yard line.
Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. 3rd and 7 now. They couldn't get anything going there out of the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 35.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
This has been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
So the interception setting up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Lawrence to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
3rd and 2. Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Take right open. Easy. Read a 44. Read a 54. Alert. Smash. Bring it.
But to throw again is Lawrence. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. His throw incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Allen to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Regular. That's it.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
And when he had him open, just a split second too late on the release. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
Hey, run.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Elliott on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Hey, run it on me.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why.
Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Bills are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense can very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
From the 42-yard line, here's second down and a yard. And meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. And Diggs will have a Bills first down as he'll get this down to the 36.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
157 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, flush to his right. Catch is made by Metcalf.
And the Bills are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Allen. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news now. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Straight ahead, Etienne. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So Allen's going to look to throw. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Kamara is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Here we go.
A final shot now for Lawrence. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. But as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camp, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Bills, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.